Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. And in today's deep analysis of the recent Paris Saint Germain versus Auxerre we'll go into how Paris Saint Germain played differently than before. Obviously, previously to this game, we had all the big reports about all the PSG players complaining, which they've done for the past 2 months. And Lucho, finally sitting down, putting his ego to the side, and letting the player have freedom, because that was the biggest thing for them. They feel like under Lucho, this season they play like robots. He tells them do this, do this, and they can't do what they want to do. But that's exactly the opposite of what happened today. The players express themselves. The players have freedom today, and that's exactly what we're going to look into. Obviously, the PSG players asked for way more direct football. They want to play more direct football. They can still have possession. We had 74% possession in this game, but they want to play more direct football. We can see Pacho early on trying to find Nuno Mendes, goes to the goalkeeper. Vitinha early on tries to find Hakimi. Hakimi takes it to the center. Marquinhos, amazing long ball to Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes unfortunately takes it down badly. So already 3 minutes in, three great long balls, one of them creating a gigantic chance, which Nuno Mendes unfortunately messes up. Nuno Mendes here wins the header from a long ball from Auxerre, gives it to Warren Zara Emre drops the defender, gives it to Fabian to Gonçalo to Fabian to Barcola goes for the shot, could have found Fabian, goes back to Fabian, both shots blocked. But once again, Paris Saint-Germain being very direct. Wherever they win the ball, they go for the opposition's goal immediately. We can see Hakimi gives it to Fabian to Vitinha to Warren tries to find Barcola with the pass like underneath the defender, just doesn't work. Very bad pass from Warren Zara Emre again. Hakimi to Fabian to Kangili to Fabian with the cross. Gonçalo Ramos header. So already 17 minutes in, we have created good to great chances against a very solid defensive side in Auxerre. Marquinhos tries to find long ball with Hakimi. Ball goes inside. Why I'm showing these balls is, even though this didn't create any attack, it's all about the ID from Marquinhos, the ID from the first player that plays the long ball, that wants to play more direct and, create an attack. Here, Auxerre had a very dangerous chance. Fabian picks it up, dribbles past the defender, gives it to Vitinha to Warren. Warren drives through beautifully between the two players, and once again has the opportunity to give it to Barcola there on the left-hand side, but just fucks it up. Once again, tries to go inside of the defender, but the ball is way too bad. Nuno Mendes shows Warren how to do it, gives a beautiful ball to Barcola gives it to Fabian, and it's an easy tap-in. And no, it's unfortunately offside, but already 27 minutes in, Paris Saint-Germain are creating goal-scoring opportunities. I'm not talking about Fugazi XG. And what does it come from? It comes from individual ability, players expressing themselves. And for me, the main thing is we're creating these kinds of chances when Auxerre are sitting deep, when we're not supposed to create chances, because this has been my biggest problem with Lucha ball is when the opposition sits deep and we have the ball, we don't really do anything. But here, the direct from the players, and a lot of 1-2s. We've seen so many 1-2s in this game. Fabian to Nuno to Barcola to Nuno. It's a quick 1-2, none of that U-shaped football. And Nuno has another gigantic chance. Instead of giving it to Gonçalo, which he could have, shot it straight at the keeper. Kangili finds Nuno Mendes here behind the line. Nuno takes it down. Unfortunately, the defender is there, but it's beautiful. Now we're going to the second half. Even more is going to come. Fabian to Hakimi very quickly. Hakimi to Kangili to Gonçalo unfortunately lose it. But once again, I'm seeing our centre-backs, instead of going to like Marquinhos, instead of giving it to Warren on the left or Pacho on the right or any of that, no, immediately give it to midfielder gives it to winger to attacker. It's direct football. Once again, Auxerre had an attack. We got the ball. Marquinhos to Fabian receives it, gives it to the side to Achraf Hakimi in a very difficult spot. Hakimi absolutely cooks the defender, puts a great ball for Gonçalo Ramos. Another great opportunity for Paris Saint-Germain, and Gonçalo doesn't score it. What Paris Saint-Germain are doing here is Auxerre recently had an attack, and instead of waiting until they get into their shape, because that's one issue with the U-shaped football we used to do, is that we wait, the opposition gets in shape, and then we want to push up with the entire team. But Fabian here, just doing what he wants to do, immediately gives it to Hakimi, and Hakimi does the rest, and it's a big opportunity. 1-2 passes, very direct football, which I absolutely love to see. Marquinhos once again gives it to Kangili to Hakimi. Hakimi goes past to the defender, unfortunately cannot put it into the center. Here Hakimi once again, individual brilliance, takes it off the defender, nutmegs the defender, and takes a shot at the keeper. But I'm seeing my players express themselves way more. I'm seeing them more, individualistic ability. Fabian going for a long shot attempt, Kangili going for a long shot attempt. It feels like the players have authority on the pitch. The players can do what they want, but obviously would not be, overly selfish or anything. Marquinhos here tries for a long ball, too much on it. And once again, look at the 1-2s here. And all of these 1-2s, Fabian Ruiz was involved. Like, he had a superb game, and whatever rolled, whatever happened, differently this game, I definitely want to see Fabian continue with that. Gives it 1-2 with Hakimi, back to Vitinha to Nuno. Nuno puts in a good ball into the box, but the defender is ahead of Gonçalo Ramos. Once again, Nuno to Vitinha, and Vitinha immediately goes for the direct ball, but he wants PSG to attack. He could have actually given it to Fabian there in a good spot, but Vitinha is just thinking about, all right, direct football, let us counter-attack, let us put it forward once again. And this is, for me, the most beautiful action from the game. Again, we can see Auxerre sitting in their shape, blocking, all passing lanes. Vitinha goes for a direct ball to Colomani. Colomani takes it down, gives it back to Nuno. Nuno back to Vitinha, who makes a run inside of the box. Now the Auxerre are pushed back. Amazing turn on the Auxerre player and puts it on the crossbar. Unfortunately, Donnarumma runs out of his goal, gives it to Vitinha quickly. Vitinha to Kolo. Kolo, unfortunately, messes up the pass to Dembele. Dembele to Hakimi. Hakimi to Fabian. Fabian to Hakimi. And this is the chance. And unfortunately, Fabian takes a heavy touch. But once again, it's the 1-2s. It's the individual brilliance. Before, it's the U-shaped football. Now it's the 1-2-1-2 football. Dembele with a majestic pass to Fabian Ruiz. Unfortunately, he hits the side netting. Once again, instead of Pacho giving to Marquinhos, slowing down the play, Pacho immediately to Hakimi. Hakimi to Dembouz. Dembouz goes inside, goes into Hakimi. Hakimi to Kolo. Kolo to Dembouz. And goalkeeper saves it once again. It's the 1-2s from Paris Saint Germain. Here, Auxerre kick it up late in the game. They want to get rid of the ball. Nuno Mendes intercepts it immediately to Dembouz. Dembouz to Colomani. Colomani unfortunately misses it. And we end it with an opportunity here. Dembouz goes inside, gives it to Doué. And it's an elite save by the Auxerre keeper to finish off a spectacular performance from himself. But to cap off this game, my thoughts is I saw the PSG players expressing themselves. I saw individualistic ability, and I saw the players that were complaining. For example, Fabian Ruiz, he was someone that has looked very bad so far this season. He was one of the main figures that was complaining about how Lucho is setting up Paris Saint Germain. And the moment we stop playing the U-shaped football, Fabian Ruiz has his best performance of the season and just controls the entire game, both on the right side, left side, and just has a spectacular performance. And I think this is how we should be playing. I definitely feel that Paris Saint Germain are back. I was excited. I saw the urgency towards the end of the game where we really needed to create the chance. We really needed the goal. I saw the urgency from the PSG players. And as I said, the direct football, that's something the PSG players have been talking about with Luis Enrique this season. They want to play more counter attack. They want to play more direct. They want to use that pace. They want to use that energy, and they want to use that just individual ability in difficult situations. We saw Achraf Hakimi, we saw Barcola, we saw Doué, we saw Nuno, we saw all of these. But then it's the 1-2s. Before, it felt like the entire team had to create an attack. Now, two players can create an attack. We saw Fabian receive it from Marquinhos and gives it all the way up to the attack. Immediately, 1-2 passes. And this is exactly what I want to see, especially when we're playing teams like this that sit back in that block. This was an unfortunate result for Paris Saint Germain. We deserve so much better after this great performance. And as I said, I definitely see the change. I definitely see Paris Saint Germain. And again, this is the first step. I know it's only one game. Let's hope this can continue, especially in the Salzburg game, because that's a game where we need it. Our players just have to become more clinical, because in this game we had at least 5 goal scoring opportunities, 6, 7, 8 great opportunities. So if we just keep playing like this and Lucho keeps letting our players express themselves on the pitch, I'm very happy, I'm very confident, I'm very hyped to watch Paris Saint Germain finally. And obviously, we need a good transfer window in winter so that we can become even better. But that's been it. Let me know in the comments down below. Everything you've seen in the picture, is that sufficient evidence for you guys to believe that Paris Saint Germain play more or different football at least? Or do we have to wait for a couple of more games? That's been it from your boy PSG. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez, Paris.